So you can just say that that's a-okay for you guys to be part of this recording, then that would be great. So amazing. So a Thermomix is hopefully
for over 140 years.
Pause this for 1 second.
For over 140 years.
So Thermomix, as many of you might know, is a German company. So we've been in New Zealand for about 15 years, in Australia for about 20, and in Europe it's been around since the 70s. So it's a true and tested, really high quality brand that you will see us cook with tonight. So it's a cooking appliance. It is really kind of every appliance that you need in the kitchen. And it's just one of those things. It's one of those investments that actually give you back both time and money over time. So I'm going to get one of the girls to show you a little bit what the Thermomix actually looks like in a minute when we start cooking. But here's just a little video showing a bit of the background and yeah, from where we're from.
For over 140 years, we at Vorwerk have been relentlessly driven to enhance everyday life in homes around the world, evolving from our first Thermomix to our latest innovation. We bring joy and pride to the table with unique culinary experiences. Alongside premium products, we build lasting relationships. We make house cleaning effortless with high-performing, versatile solutions, growing global companies across more than 60 countries. This success comes from our dedication to you, our customer. You'll see it in the eyes of our more than 100,000 determined people. Our passion for delicious food, spotless homes, next-level technology, high standards, and sustainability is what drives us. For over 140 years, we've been reinventing ourselves, and now we're taking another leap forward with our most advanced Thermomix ever. At Vorwerk, we empower people to ignite their passion every day.
Amazing. Right, so for those of you who don't know, we've got the price of a Thermomix is $2,849, and we're going to show you tonight just how much value you will get out of that. It's the best spent money you will ever spend, I reckon, and you get everything that you see in the picture included in that price. So there's no extra costs on top of that, and there is lots of great ways to pay. The best one definitely to come on board as a consultant and earn your Thermomix. We've got an amazing opportunity to do that currently that I'll talk about a little bit later. But also we've just started a 40-month interest-free option, so that can be another great way to get a Thermomix from $17 a week. So that was what is a Thermomix in 10 seconds. So with the Thermomix, it really is, you've got all of the options. You can cook manually just like you would do on your stove currently. You can use the guided recipes that Libby and Lana are going to cook with today, or you can use modes. So modes is kind of there's 20 different modes on the Thermomix, so it really is kind of replacing lots of different appliances in your kitchen. So it just makes your kitchen really decluttered, nice and tidy, and just makes life so much easier. So that is all of the talking that I'm going to do to start off with, and then we are going to pop over and we're going to cook 3 different things. So we are starting with you, Lana, aren't we?
Excellent. Yes, we are. We are going to start with a pizza bianca. But first of all, I will just show you a little bit about the bowl here. So as you can see inside, and it is just, that's literally all it is, and cooks everything in there. Often
and what is it made out of, Lana?
It's stainless steel
Yep.
inside, and then it's nice double insulated on the outside, so it is never going to get hot to touch, which is really good if you've got kiddies in the house.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to take apart. There's just this little lever that you flick, and the blade pops on out, and then the bowl pops on out. So you can put that in the dishwasher if you want. You can put your blade in the dishwasher. Some people think you should never put good blades in the dishwasher, but it is an option. And then you just hand wash this outer casing.
Yeah. Too easy. So what are you going to cook for us to start off with?
So we're going to start with a pizza bianca. So it's super easy. I can just hit the magnifying glass and start typing it in. So easy to find any recipes on this big screen.
Absolutely. It's kind of like having an iPad on your cooking appliance, isn't it?
I know, right? As soon as kids see it, they're like drawn to it, like little magnets. Um, yeah. So this recipe is amazing. I literally make this probably once a week. It is so good, and you can see, well, you might not be able to see very easy, but it's actually got a rating of 4.8 out of 5 stars. So you know it's definitely going to be a really goodie. And yeah, it can show you all your ingredients, all your steps to making it. It even has all your nutritional factors if you're looking into your health or anything like that. And yeah, just makes it really easy. So what we'll do is we'll push start. And now it's just going to tell us to turn the oven on to 220 degrees, hotter if possible, and line a baking tray with some baking paper and set it aside. I will do that in a wee minute because my oven heats up really quickly. And then our first step here is just to chuck in 2 cloves of garlic and some fresh rosemary. It says about 3 sprigs, so I've just pulled that off there.
So easy.
Put the lid on, and then we just hit next. And what it is now going to do is just going to chop for 4 seconds. So I will do that.
And you can obviously change if you wanted to have something else on your bread. You can change the flavorings from the rosemary and garlic to whatever else picks your fancy on the day, depending on what you're cooking.
Yeah, 100%. So that's just with 4 seconds chopping. You can see how much it chops it.
Absolutely.
I wish we had smell-o-vision because
I know how good that smells. Garlic and rosemary, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm just scraping the sides down. You don't have to be too fussy, but it's just sort of pushing it down to the bottom again. And we're just going to pop it back on. And
4 more seconds. Chopping that up again, and as you can see, it is so handy with those blades and just the way that the bowl is shaped that it always chops the things up. Like I know my food processor I had before my Thermomix, it was just always a bit hard. Like there was one garlic clove or something really little, it just tended to bounce around rather than actually getting chopped. So I just love the precision of chopping a small amount as a garlic clove.
exactly. Yep, you're not going to get lumps left with this. So I have done that, and it says to actually take your garlic and rosemary out to sprinkle on top later, but I quite like just leaving it in the dough, and so it just infuses and cooks in the bread. So you can do either or, but I'm just going to choose to leave it in there today.
Perfect.
So now we're just going to add 220 grams of water. That is so accurate, literally weighing everything right down to the gram. And I just went a little tiny bit over. With water, you tend to try and go just a little bit slowly near the end. And it's just picked it off automatically for me. Now I'm doing 1 teaspoon of raw sugar and 2 teaspoons of yeast.
Nice.
And then we can just go next. And we're going to pop that lid back on. It always showing us exactly what to do in each step. And now we are just heating that up to 37 degrees. And yeah, that's just the perfect temperature just to really activate that yeast and make that really most amazing, yummy bread.
Absolutely. And Tanya was just saying in the chat, amazing that you can't hear it chopping, and it is very quiet, but we're also on Zoom, and Zoom kind of does quieten out background noise a little bit, so you can't hear anything here. You can hear it a bit in your kitchen, but it is a lot quieter, the TM7 compared to the TM6. So definitely a really nice, it's one of the things I love with the 7 compared to the 6, that just if now it will be completely quiet now in Lana's kitchen with just going on speed 2. Which is phenomenal.
Yeah, sometimes I'll have to double check. I'm like, oh, have I pushed play? Because I literally Can't
Yeah,
hear
I
it.
kept going back in the beginning to double check that it was really on. So this dough, is there anything else then? Because today we're doing kind of a bit of a flatbread too that you could have with any kind of whatever you're having for dinner. And it's a really nice way to bulk out your food if you've got, like you do, teenage boys at home, or
Yeah.
teenagers. And what else would you use this dough for? Is there any other ways you would use it than just as this kind of pizza bianca that we're doing today?
Yeah, I use this pizza bianca also to make scrolls. So I
Yeah.
will just roll it out flat, and then I'll put some pizza sauce on, and then some cheese and ham and roll it up, or otherwise I'll put pesto and cheese and just literally roll it, chop it, and it makes the most amazing scrolls. It's really, really versatile.
Yeah, and this recipe. You can actually make something from scratch. If that is mini pizzas or scrolls or whatever it is that you're doing, you can even actually use the same dough and make little bread rolls. And I can get break on a Monday morning if we wake up and I have not been doing groceries over the weekend, and sometimes we have very little for lunch boxes on a Monday morning, and you can actually get this recipe from start to out of the oven in 35 minutes flat to actually have
Mm.
freshly baked, scrolls or something for the kids in the morning, which I think I could have never done that before Thermomix. So for a busy mum, like you, Lana, that is something that is just so handy.
I know, literally, if I'm going to a barbecue, I'm like, right, I'm whipping up some pizza bianca to take because everyone is always so impressed
Yeah.
by it. It's so yummy. Right, so that water is now heated up and that yeast is activated. So it's now asking us to put in 400 grams of flour. So I am just going to pour that in.
And that is,
And
it says baker's flour in the recipe, but just we're using high grade flour here in New Zealand, don't we?
yeah, high grade. But then also, if you don't have high grade or don't want to use high grade, it's absolutely fine just to use your standard flour
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
So now I'm just doing 30 grams of olive oil.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but when Lana hits the right amount, you can see now that there's a green line and it just ticks itself off. And she gets to move on. And if you don't want to use exactly the amount that Cookie Dough says, you can absolutely do something different, but it is just so handy that it just does that all automatically.
I know, it's so good. But then if you're
Yeah.
like super rush, you can also tick it. If you want
Yeah.
to beat it, you can tick it yourself as well.
Yes.
So, and then also, like, I haven't ticked, it doesn't measure a teaspoon, so I don't need to tick it. I can just literally go on to next because I know it's done. And
Yeah.
now we're going to knead the dough for 2 minutes. So 2 minutes of kneading the dough in the Thermomix is the equivalent of 10 minutes by hand. So that always makes the most amazing, yummy doughs.
Yeah. And I don't know if there's anyone who is on here who really wants who likes to make things from scratch and that kind of health element. Because we often talk about that there's 4 different important, problems that a Thermomix can solve for families. And one of them is busy people. I don't know if there's any of you on here tonight who are busy people who don't have enough time to cook maybe enough from scratch or the way you would like it, or you're busy after work or sport or whatever it might be. So time is something that we really can help with a Thermomix. Health, if you want to cook from scratch, and I think with bread products especially, there is just so many additives and preservatives in a lot of bread products that we buy, and actually it's quite expensive for what it is. If you're making bread products from scratch, like this pizza bianca would cost maybe $1 to make from scratch. It's just such cheap ingredients and also way more wholesome. And if you're looking at some of I don't know if anyone, what bread products do you guys buy at the supermarket currently? Is there anyone who buys any, kind of, it might be things like, pita breads or tortillas or, or normal just sandwich bread. So there is just so much we can make so quickly with just a few minutes. And now Lana's standing here talking to us, but if she was not, then she would be off now doing something else for 2 minutes while this is, while the Thermomix is knitting for us, which I think is really good. What have you found been the biggest thing for you getting a Thermomix, Lana? What has been the biggest help for your family?
Just I don't know how to limit it, but just so many things. Just I can cook. We're busy. I've got 3 kids, all doing sports and activities, and I just don't have time to spend hours in the kitchen. So I can just come home from a sports activity, and cook a really yummy, healthy, nutritious meal. And it's yeah. Or else the other good thing is now I've got 2 teenagers in the house, they can do the cooking as well, and it doesn't just have to be on me.
I know, so good. It always helps with teenagers when it's got a screen at the front of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that's so easy. They can't muck it up. So this is our dough made. And then to get it out, I just turn it upside down and I can put our little, it's got a little mark, a little hole in there. So I can literally just turn it anti-clockwise. And that dough comes
Just
on out.
falls out.
Yeah, the other really good thing in the Thermomix, there's different modes. So there's a turbo mode, so you can put it on turbo for 1 second and it goes super high speed and it will just flick those last little dough bits out to the edge to make it nice and easy for you to get it out.
Yeah, amazing. And this dough is amazing. It just, for those of you who have made you kind of pizza dough, those kind of things from scratch by hand before, it is actually really hard to get a pizza dough to be kind of the consistency that this one is. It's just so nice and not too sticky and not too wet. So it's just perfect. So now what are you going to do?
So now it is just telling me to transfer it onto a surface, and you can make it up into 2 balls and have 2 little loaves, but I tend to just leave it in one. And I've just folded it up in my baking mat, which is my favorite Thermomix accessory. And I'm just going to leave it here for 15 minutes to rise. And if you
Perfect.
don't have a baking mat, you could just like loosely wrap it in some Glad wrap or chuck it in some sort of bowl with a lid over it just to help keep it nice and warm and rise for 15 minutes.
Amazing. And now, beautifully, it's so good with a virtual. So now we can jump over to the other side of Canterbury and head to Rolleston. And Libby is going to cook something else for us. How are you?
I am good, thank you.
That's
So,
awesome. What are you making for us tonight?
so tonight I'm going to cook a beef stroganoff, which is a delicious 35-minute cook. And if you've made beef stroganoff normally, you'll know it's actually quite not labor intensive, but it's a longer cook than that. But this actually packs such a punch in such a short amount of time that it makes it feel like you've been cooking it all day. So certainly a favorite of mine.
Yes, mine too.
So I have pivoted a little bit because, as per usual, Libby has gone a bit rogue, and the cabbage we did have has ended up in the rubbish bin this afternoon. So anyway, that's all right. So
Those things happen.
in the recipe I love to cook, it actually steams the cabbage in our aroma. So all of the accessories that we're using tonight do come with your Thermomix and more. So there'll be other attachments that we haven't spoken about. But this is our aroma. So as long as actually you've got a liquid around about 1 litre in your Thermomix bowl, you'll be able to steam anything in here. So usually I would be steaming my cabbage up top, but tonight I've pivoted and we've just gone to the beef stroganoff without the cabbage on top. So without further ado,
so many options, isn't it?
I know, right? And that's a beautiful thing that I love about the Thermomix. Whilst we are doing guided tonight, it is just a guide. It is not a rule book. So if you need to pivot at any point, you absolutely do so. So we're actually not going to eat this until tomorrow night. We've had dinner tonight. And the first instruction says to have parsley. Now, because I've made this before, I know that the parsley is a garnish. So I'm actually just going to go next, and I'm going to skip that step. So in here, I've got a brown onion. So literally just putting it in a half. I'm going to go next on that. And I'm going to put my lid on. Oh, and 3 seconds, speed 5, I am going to chop that. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm always a bit of an emotional mess when it comes to chopping onions. And 5 seconds, I could not have done anything like that. I'm sorry, 3 seconds, I could not have done anything like that. So,
not anyone with knife skills that good, Libby.
No, and I'm not slightly emotional. So there we go.
Yeah, not even crying a little bit.
No. So now I'm going to pop in butter. So it was going to weigh it as I go. And I am going to pop in a, not to get mistaken, a tablespoon of paprika and a pinch of cayenne pepper. So go with that. And we're going to go with the smallest pinch of that. Perfect. I'm going to go next on that. We're going to saute that away for 3 minutes. So at 120 degrees, that is now cooking my onions as well. So this is the beautiful thing I love about Thermomix is a lot of the time it doesn't make the cooks quicker, but it makes it hands-free. So if I wasn't standing here talking to all you lovely people, I would be away stacking my dishwasher, probably unloading it, doing all the jobs that just need to be done or cleaning up as I go. So I love that this is hands-free time. I am not juggling little kitties, but I can only imagine that if I was, having this hands-free time when your dinner is cooking would be an absolute game changer, getting them through the bath, or I can only imagine they'd be around your ankles when you're trying to cook. So beautiful for giving that time back in your day.
Yeah, I love it. So I would love to know, for those of you who are on here watching, what would you do with 3 minutes hands-free while your Thermomix is cooking your onions? What would you do? I actually know that it takes me 3 minutes and 20 seconds to empty my dishwasher. Because a 3 minute is just not quite enough. So, it's all those unnecessary things. So I normally have a game in the kitchen when I'm cooking and then go like, right, what can I do now? And run it and get the washing, or, there's so many things you actually can get done. So when you're sitting down for dinner, like Libby said, you not only have you got a beautiful, perfectly cooked meal, but actually a lot of those jobs that a lot of us would do after dinner can now be done while we're cooking.
Absolutely, and it just makes it nice and safe as well. So you don't have a pot on the stove or a pan on the stove sauteing away while you might or get distracted if you're me. So
yeah, I'm sure you're out in the garden doing things as well when you're cooking.
I find
which would be very dangerous if you don't have a Thermomix.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, nice. So Libby, with the other, so we were just talking a little bit before about the time and the health, because I know health is something that's really big for you. What do you feel like is the biggest difference since you got a Thermomix? What is the biggest thing it's made for you?
I think the biggest thing for me is that it has made me look at the ingredients even more. So obviously I'm aware that some of our the food we eat is a bit of a science experiment, and it's made me look at the ingredients and think, far out, why does that need X, Y, Z in it? When I can cook it without that. So I think for me, it's made me very focused on having an ingredient pantry, and it's made our grocery shop very different, whereby I will go around, I will be buying things like sour cream, cream cheese, or cream, those sorts of things that I know can end up in an end product, versus maybe buying a dip in case someone comes over on the weekend, or buying a hummus just in case I want that for lunch next week, and then maybe donating it to the compost bin. So those sorts of things has made me very conscious on what I'm eating. So
I totally agree.
Cool. So that's just 3 minutes, and like Lana was saying, if you could smell it, it would be, it is amazing. So it says beef fillet. That sounds a bit bougie for the farm girl in me.
I would not use beef fillet in this.
Absolutely not. So I think I have got I think it's rump, but honestly,
rump, I think rump is such a good cut for for a lot of things actually.
Yeah,
it's a good value cut.
The likes of this I am going to eat tomorrow. So, and if I wasn't in a rush, or if I needed to go to kids' sports, or zip out at dinner time, I would actually probably put a little bit more liquid and have this as a longer cook, so that it would be a bit more forgiving if I could say, a cheaper cut of meat. But being brought up on around home kill, everything was fair game, so we just made it work. So
something that a customer of mine actually said that she does this recipe but just with mince. And that is actually so yummy. It's like a mix between, still got the stroganoff flavors but a bit like a bolognese. Like, it is just so neat. It's such a nice nice way to make it.
So I've just put a pinch of salt and we are just cooking for 10 minutes at 100 degrees. And I'm just going to zoom you in a little bit closer. So if you, I don't know if you actually can see this,
See?
but here we are. We've got it in reverse. So this is something that you can do manually. But if you are cooking and you don't want it to be cutting or you want it to just pop your machine in reverse and it is going to use the blunt side of the blade. So it's not going to cut my meat up any further than what I've already cut it. So it's just going to stir it in reverse and keep it nicely circulating while it's cooking.
Yeah, and it is so nice that all of that thing, like when you're using a guided recipe, that's all preset. You don't need to think about it. But then still, for those of you who love to cook and want to put your own, or like use, maybe some recipes they already have, or just kind of, go manually and go rogue and do whatever you want, then you still can. Like, you're not locked into anything and you can change around as you see fit. Could you show us, Libby, because we can see your screen actually really well, would you be able to show us the modes and just kind of talk us through when we've got a few minutes before we're heading over to Lana again?
Sure can. So, like Mita said, there's 3 ways of cooking. So we've got our guided, which I'm doing here. But if I go down to the blade on the left-hand side, we've got all our modes. So these are all the, can you actually see that?
Yeah, we can see.
Perfect. So these are all the different functions you can do. Now, a lot of these modes are included in guided recipes. For example, Lana has just used the dough mode when she was kneading. So the dough mode you can use manually, and I do my sourdough on that most days. And so that is equivalent to 2 minutes in the Thermomix is equivalent to 10 minutes by hand. Browning is one of my favorite modes that got added to the TM7 because it does allow you to get a bit of color on your courgettes, zucchinis, even popping your chicken in there. You get a really beautiful color and just brings out so much more flavor. So if I'm cooking a risotto, I will often zip back to browning just to get some color on my onions and my mushrooms as well. The other mode that was added to the TM7, which is also one of my favorites, is open top cooking. So this means that you can reduce your sauces. So it doesn't matter how confident you are with the machine. Perhaps you're a master chef, or perhaps you can't cook, don't want to cook, hate cooking. It really fits all ends of the spectrum. So open top cooking is what I primarily use for reducing my casseroles or curries or broths, anything like that. And it just really essentially is like a pot without the lid on, which is amazing.
Yeah, there's so many great modes in there, isn't it?
Just there is.
Yeah.
My favorite one is pre-clean as well.
Of course it is.
You'll notice I'm a bit of a modes gal. But if you've got a Thermomix, I would love to see in the chat what is your favorite mode. Perhaps you've got a TM6 and you'd like to tell us what your favorite mode is, or if you've already got a 7 on your bench, I'd love to see what you're using with your TM7.
100%. I have to say that it's hard to go past the thickening mode. It's something that we have on the 6 as well, but that is the additions on the TM7 are phenomenal in terms of both the browning and the steaming. I totally agree with Libby. But yeah, the thickening mode, just being able to whip up in 11 minutes like beautiful lemon curd or a hollandaise. I don't know if anyone else has tried to make hollandaise from scratch. It's not the easiest thing to do. So really nice. And if you can just plop everything in and 11 minutes later, it is perfect.
I love that. We always used to have a Sunday roast at home. And us kids, one of us would be stirring the white sauce, the cheese sauce, and the other would be stirring the gravy. So I do love now that one day we caught Mum making cheese sauce manually with our Thermomix, and so she's never done that again. But being able to put your all your ingredients that you would usually be making your gravy into the Thermomix, it heats it up to 80 degrees, and there is no lumps, which is incredible, and no roasting dish to soak for the next day or so.
Yes, I know, it is just so good. Some of those things, bechamel sauce, cheese sauce is just not. I don't know if I've ever met anyone who's thinking that is really fun to make from scratch. For most of us, that is a bit of a pain. So really nice when we can outsource that job nice and easy. So how much time do you have left on your cook, Libby?
So I've got 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I wonder if should we pop back to Lana? Do you wanna? This is maybe where we where it's a bit of a race on.
Yeah, I reckon I can make the
Can you
salad.
make a salad in 5 minutes, Lana?
Yep, definitely. We made a super quick broccoli salad. This salad is so fresh and crunchy and yum and just delicious. So I've got my bread timer still going here, but while that's still counting down till my bread's ready to go in the oven, I can still start my next recipe. So we are going to, the other thing you can do, which I will jump back, is I can pick how many portions as well. She'll just start that.
Are you upping or downing it?
Yeah, downing it. Right, so I will pop in my broccoli. So you just chop it into sort of biggish sort of chunks. The other good thing is you can also put in the stalk. There's lots of nutrition in the stalk as well.
Yeah.
So I pop all that in and tick that off. And then 1 apple, just quartered. Pop that in. And then it is 20 grams of onion, which is just half a handful of onion. Put that in. And then this recipe asks for courgettes, but I don't have any. I've got celery growing in my garden, so I'm just using fresh celery. That's a really good thing about a Thermomix. You can literally sub things in and out. So I'm popping in my celery. The other really good thing is just showing it all on your screen. You don't have to be clicking next, next, next. It's just literally all there for me. So now it's just asking for 20 grams of apple cider vinegar.
And you can obviously sub for any other vinegar if you want. And I like that you can choose whatever, whatever oils, and you just make your salad and your dressing all in one go, in one bowl. Super quick and easy.
My time with my bread's just gone off. And that's just some olive oil.
Amazing.
And then half a teaspoon of salt. So all the ingredients are just in there. And lastly, we'll do a little bit of ground pepper. And it is going to chop our salad for 7 seconds on speed 4. And then it is going to be ready.
Amazing. Yeah, and I would love to know, is there anyone who buys ready-made salads kind of at the supermarket, either the bags or in the deli? Because this salad, as you can see, you can make it in less than 5 minutes.
So that's it there. And what I'm now just going to do is add in just some, it says some raisins optional, but I like putting in cranberries because I think they're so delicious.
100%.
Just put those in. And then like Libby mentioned before, this is just on a stir mode. So it's just going to stir it for 5 seconds. So it's not going to blitz up those cranberries. It's just stirring it through nicely.
Amazing. And this is like you've got your lunch for tomorrow sorted.
I know, exactly. It's so lunch. Just and then if you want to like to add in a bit of protein, you could just put in a bit of rotisserie chicken for your lunch or something like that. Is really good. And then you can see, well, it's a little bit hard to see with the light, but it is all blitzed
It is
up.
so beautiful. There's so many versions. I've just popped this recipe. This is, yeah, probably my favorite salad. If anyone who has a Thermomix already have a favorite salad, please share it in the chat, because that's always so nice to see what other people are liking. But all right, so show us your bread. I was about to say show us your buns, but I don't know if that would be misunderstood.
Yeah, it's a bit finer. You can literally jump into that step where it was, and you can just set it as your current step, and you could chop it up if it wasn't, if you personally liked it a lot finer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all right, my bread is ready to roll out. Yeah, a bit.
It's definitely risen a bit. You can definitely see the difference. It's nice and
Yeah,
proved. Right, Libby's also, we've got Libby on screen as well. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll just pop over to Libby for a second and just so that she gets to carry on
Yeah.
the cook. And then we'll be back to you, Lana, in just a second.
Perfect.
Beautiful. So I'm trying not to spill it everywhere. But you can see my beef has got some beautiful colour and it smells incredible. Now, once again, Libby is going rogue. It does say mushrooms, but we have eaten all the mushrooms in the house. So I am just leaving those out. So now we are just going to pop in some tomato paste. So we've just got 50 grams of tomato paste. And this is also one of the things that you can make in the Thermomix. So if you do have your own veggie garden and want to make the most of it, or you find reduced tomatoes, absolutely a way you can make your Thermomix provide for you all year round. It does say white wine. Goodness me, I break the rules a bit, don't I? I'm going to go red wine.
I don't know if there's many rules that you are following.
No, right?
But that's okay.
But I also figure that red wine goes beautiful with beef. So
I agree.
So there we go. We are now using a teaspoon, which I have put in the sink. Teaspoon of veggie stock paste. So it does, goodness me, I have broken all the rules. It asks for meat stock paste, but if you are making stock paste from scratch, you'll know the incredible flavour they add. Chicken is always my favourite stock paste to have in the freezer, and they are all made in the Thermomix. So this one is quite a broccoli heavy stock paste, but you can absolutely add whatever you like. So I just love that also you can reduce the preservatives as well. So then we've got a tablespoon of corn flour going into the oven and some Dijon mustard. There as well. Perfect. Now, because I am eating this tomorrow night, I'm not going to put the sour cream in tonight because I will reduce it down a bit further tomorrow. So we're just going to carry on with that as is. And just go next. So this is an incredible meal if you wanted to gift it as well. There's always people out there that are in need of a meal, and this is one that is such hands-off time and minimal ingredients that I just find it is an incredible meal to be able to gift or bless the family with in a time of need. So another 10 minutes of cooking, and then I'm just going to allow that to rest and we are good to go.
Easy. And it is also nice when you can give someone a meal that isn't a lasagna, I think.
You're right.
Always try and think of like, what can I give someone that is not a lasagna?
Always blows my mind that lasagna is such a heavily gifted meal because it's so labor intensive if you're making it.
Especially if you don't have a Thermomix.
Exactly. So.
Oh, I love them. Thank you, Libby. All right, Lana, how is your bread going? You've popped that in a tray for us.
You see it there? I have.
That looks beautiful.
Yeah, just rolled it out flat, and then to just make it a little bit fancier, I've just poked some sort of finger holes in it, and then I've just poured just a little bit of olive oil on it and sprinkled some salt. And you can see like the garlic and rosemary is all infused in it, but if at the start you didn't leave it in the bowl, this would be where you would just sprinkle it nicely on top.
Perfect.
Yeah, so all I have to do now is pop it in the oven, which is preheating at 220 for 15 minutes, and we are going to have some beautiful, freshly baked bread to go with our dinner tonight.
Amazing. So what are you having for dinner tonight, Lana?
We are having salad and bread, and we're having pasta.
Oh, yeah. That's perfect. What are you adding in some stock in there, Libby? I'm just Mr.
So what I've just popped in there, just a bit more liquid. So whenever a recipe asks for water, I always make this on a Sunday, which is the chicken turmeric bone broth, and I love it. So I just added this into our dinner tonight or tomorrow night. So it just, any recipe, it might be a curry, it might be a soup, anything like that that asks for water. I always add any opportunity to put some bone broth goodness into our diets, especially this time of year. But we can never be
100%.
too complacent that winter might snap us at any time. So that's just a way that we maintain our wellness throughout the winter as well.
Yes, I love that. And it is, yeah, I always love watching what you're cooking in your house. There's so many beautiful things that comes through that Thermomix of yours in your house. So that's fantastic. Neat. This is such an easy, you've almost not done anything really, you know, in terms of hands-on cooking. It's kind of, you've had some pre-chopped ingredients and then 20 minutes worth of hands-free cooking and almost done, which is
Almost
so
done.
nice and easy. And you're going to get a beautiful meal at the end of that, because I know I actually haven't had that for a wee while, so might be on our dinner rotation later this week. All right, I'm just going to pop back into my presentation and I'm just going to show you girls a bit more. So please pop, yeah, broccoli and the beetroot salad. Thanks, Anita. It's definitely a goodie, the beetroot salad. I do absolutely love that one. So I am going to show you here. Now, hopefully you guys can see my screen again. Perfect. So I want to show you I started this, I didn't quite finish it. So the 4 different areas that we see that Thermomix benefits most families is through saving time, improving your health. And I've had a few customers that haven't even been trying, and I've come back to them after a month or two having had a Thermomix, and they've been blown away how much better they're feeling, because actually just by default from cooking, you know, with a Thermomix, you'll end up using more whole food ingredients. And my teenager actually looked up in our pantry the other day and she was like, oh, I can't believe we're like a whole ingredient pantry, she said with disgust, because actually you have to like work to make something. But it is a beautiful thing and you will be grateful. I'm trying to tell her, you'll be grateful later, honey. It is a good thing. But so that is 2 really great benefits. But also, we often talk about saving energy, and that might be in electricity, but also in your energy. And that might be mental load, and it might be actual hands-on time in the kitchen. You will just both create more excitement. And I don't know if there's anyone on here who feel like they are going around on the same 10 meals most weeks. And I think the biggest complaint we had when our Thermomix was new was that, Mom, when we find something we like, can we just have it again? Because I would just be like, right, we're going to try new things every night, because I just loved it. It was never boring. It was always fun, and kind of that excellence and, you know, having exciting food. And I love going to restaurants, and being able to create more of that at home without spending a fortune was something that I absolutely loved with the Thermomix. So saving energy or creating excitement, that are 2 great benefits, and also nice when you can get your, you know, it might be your husband or your children into the kitchen and help cook with you, which has been a really cool thing. Last but not least is saving money. And it might sound or seem counterintuitive for some of you who see the investment of the Thermomix of $28.49 and think, oh my goodness, that is just a lot of money for a kitchen appliance. And it is definitely an investment, but it is an investment that we see that really pays itself off over time in lots of the ways Libby was talking about, but also in kind of just saving some, you know, some time as well. But if saving money is something, or making sure that this investment is something that pays off for you, then talk to your consultant, because this is absolutely lots of different ways we can help you save money, and making sure that if it is $17 a week you want to save, or I've had customers who've saved $100 a week off their groceries or more. So it's absolutely a possibility, and our consultants are absolutely phenomenal at helping you with that. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples in just a minute as well. So tell me in the chat, what is most important to you? Is it time? Is it health? Is it energy? Or is it money? So pop that in the chat, or tell your consultants when they follow up with you after tonight, because then they can help you actually figuring out why a Thermomix is the most important, or how you can get help with whatever is most important to you. So tonight we're doing a quick virtual. Our consultants are absolutely phenomenal at doing demos for you. So this is something that if you decide to purchase a Thermomix, we will come and do a delivery demo with you, either in person or online. And it might be, a one-on-one demo, or it might be a demo with a couple of friends to earn some awesome host rewards as well. So your consultant, they are absolutely amazing at helping you, inspire you, and make sure that you get the most out of your Thermomix. Whatever the reason is for you to buy a Thermomix, they will help you get there. So we do that through doing demos. There is cooking classes all around the country, and then they will just share. Like, if you don't follow Libby on her socials, they are phenomenal. You'll learn so much about Thermomix and food in general. So we'll share that. Maybe can you pop your Instagram handle please in the chat, because there is so many beautiful consultants that just actually live to share tips and tricks and make sure that you get the most out of your machine. So Cookidoo, which is the recipe platform that we have, has over 100,000 recipes, and it is just so many different versions of different recipes, and recipes from all over the world. So definitely go and check that out. Libby, if you're on your laptop, could you pop the Cookidoo, maybe the Cookidoo address in the chat as well? Anyone can sign up to a 30-day free trial. We do just get to have a nosy and see if you can find some recipes that you love. And then after that, when you buy a Thermomix, if you're a new owner, you then will get 3 months for free. And after that, it's 89 Australian dollars a year. So it's a yearly subscription. It's just over $1 a week. So it's really, really worthwhile. So the current offers that we've got at the moment, there is some phenomenal options for you, like I was kind of mentioning before. So getting a TM7 from $17 a week with Q Card is a great opportunity. We've got that till the end of May. Now in April, there's only 2 days left of April. And if you purchase a Thermomix today or tomorrow, then you will get dinner on us, and we will gift you a $250 grocery gift card that you can use at Woolworths, or if you get your groceries at Farmers, you can also use it there. So those are the two places you get to use it. It will get sent out next week. So that is a really nice way for us to say, hey, come and test this out, and you will get a whole week of groceries from us. Then the last thing that we've got for another 4 weeks is, if you would love to come on board and earn a Thermomix, or maybe just get a discount on your Thermomix, every sale you do will give you a discount of your Thermomix around about $700. So if you sell 4 in 90 days, got 3 whole months, then you get an absolutely free Thermomix. If you sell 1 or 2 or 3, you will get a great discount. So that is a great way also to come on board and learn about your machine. And our team leaders are phenomenal in looking after you and helping you get whatever it is that you want out of it. So 4 more weeks to sign up for that. So talk to your consultant if that is something that you might be interested in. I don't know, Lana and Libby, about you, but I only ever joined to earn my Thermomix 6 years ago. I was never going to stay because I didn't want to be one of these weird people. And then I absolutely loved it. And still here 6 years later. So that definitely can happen. But we are not going to twist your arm if you don't want to stay. So there is a few really cool tools if you feel like, if saving money, because that is definitely something that's on the tip of everyone's tongue at the moment, where groceries are only going up, the price of petrol and diesel and all of that. So there is something called a savings calculator on our website, and this is a great tool for you to figure out how much money could you possibly save as a family. And not everything is on the savings calculator, but there's lots of examples of things that you might buy on a weekly basis. So an average family saves about $50 a week, but it might be more or less depending on how you cook and eat, how many people you cook for. But some examples, it might actually be a Thermomix might pay for itself in terms of just taking away 1 takeaway a month. Or, if you get deli salads or eat lunch out for work, then that is something that we can replace. And definitely any of the bakery items that we might buy at the supermarket are definitely quite pricey for what they are compared to if you're making them from scratch at home. Then there is things like muffins. If you make your own yogurt, you can save lots of money on that as well. And yeah, bread products and pizza scrolls for sure. So there is lots and lots for you to check out there, and hopefully some inspiration. And maybe now you can chat back to your consultant and tell them what you learned tonight and how you could see a Thermomix benefit you. And if you love it, definitely get it. My only regret is not getting it sooner. So do yourself a favor. And it is actually Mother's Day coming up very soon. So, you know, for lots of women, either you can, you know, there might be someone you can talk into getting you a Thermomix, because you are someone who absolutely deserve all of the things. So that was a very speedy run through of a lot of the information. Libby and Lana, is your stroganoff? It is not, I have to say, the stroganoff is very delicious, but I'm not sure if it's the prettiest dish.
No, I can't say it's going to win me any points for presentation tonight. So it is smelling amazing. And
it is.
I back my decision to put the red wine in. I think that versus white wine adds such a different depth, but you do you. And so that tomorrow night is now ready. Sorry, it's a bit runny because I have not put the sour cream in to thicken it. But because I'm reheating it, I didn't want it to curdle. So
yes, that is a very good point.
It's beautiful, and I will fry off some mushrooms tomorrow and add into it as well. So a beautiful one that you can build on. But if you're wanting to meal prep, I know a lot of people meal prep on the weekend for the week, or in the Thermomix, we love to cook once, eat twice. So a really good one that you can prepare in ahead of time if you've got a busy week, or
just and actually and even doing, you know, for someone like us where we've got lots of sports on in the afternoon, actually a really nice thing too. You can even make it at kind of 4 o'clock before we head out the door. Just let it cook and finish whatever the 20 or 30 minutes, whatever it might be cooking, and then just leave it on the Thermomix. And the bowl is so well insulated. When you get back an hour later, it's still perfectly hot.
And 35 minutes, if I was to drive down and get takeaways, it would have cost me $70 to $90. And I would have obviously spent fuel getting there and had to wait. So in the meantime, I have got my kitchen all ready to go to go and sit on the couch. So we are all done.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I always have, make sure I always have arborio rice, because it has happened more than once where we're driving home from rugby and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't got anything for dinner and I haven't done the groceries. And then it's like, oh, should we get takeaway? And the kids are like, yes. And I'm like, no, we can just make a risotto. It takes 25 minutes. It's quicker to make a risotto and way cheaper. It's so handy. So there's always those kind of recipes you can have all of the ingredients for at home. So you've got some of those backup recipes with, you know, things that doesn't need necessarily lots of fresh ingredients. So awesome things. And let's see, Lana, is your bread out of the oven yet?
Yes, I've just taken it out of the oven. You can see it's nice.
Perfect
golden
timing. That looks beautiful.
It's still super hot, so I won't cut it quite just yet, but it is soft and fresh. And then here is my lovely, beautiful broccoli salad to go with it too.
So good. And that just took you a few little minutes.
And yeah, under half an hour, and I've made the bread and the salad.
So good. Thanks, girls, so much for cooking for us tonight. We really appreciate it. If anyone has got any questions or there's anything you want to ask us about, we are more than happy to answer. But I'm actually going to stop the recording. Otherwise, that is it from us tonight.